All right, welcome back, everybody. My name is ATX Crypto, your man, your myth, your legend, Nathan. Hopefully, everyone is having a fantastic day as always. Just got done getting rugged, so everyone's gonna start trickling in slowly. I can only imagine is kind of what I see ended up happening. But it is what it is. So I hope everyone, as always, is having a fantastic day, folks. I had to restart the stream, so hopefully now it looks better for whatever reason. It just is what it is, right? I'm not exactly sure how it all works or how it all went down, but I appreciate everyone coming back in, tuning in for now. What's up, Gabriel? Absolutely. Back, absolutely. Alan Fizme, I appreciate that. Guys, we are two subs away from 1,000 subs. So guys, if you were tuning in on this stream or watching the replay and you haven't subbed already, let's go ahead and make that happen, right? Now we're 3 away from 1K. Yeah, it is what it is, right? People get mad, people get frustrated. It is what it is, right? And I said, it's just gonna, it's gonna be how it kind of ends up happening, right? It's just people are gonna learn, people are gonna hate. Just it is what it is, right? So again, guys, we got Pulsechain happening. We got Pulsechain being delayed. We tried sharing some information, and I'll dive into a little bit more of that. Glad I didn't get too far into the stream, and I was just able to quickly restart it. What's up, Alan? Beat me, yes sir. What's up? What's up, Hex fam? What's up, Blaine? Hello, how are you? Hello, you beautiful people. All right, so getting back to what we were talking about before we got rugged just a moment ago, we can see that Pulsechain has been delayed, and how do we know that? Because Hex price is also being affected. At this point in time, Hex is now actually on a little downward trajectory because of the most recent Richard Hart announcements, and we can actually see just measuring from today alone, we're already down 12%. Now, on average, anytime we do get some negative news happening, we've been dropping roughly about 20 to 25% in terms of the previous local high. So if we're actually trying to measure what that may look like and just kind of predict and see what may happen, 25% is going to take us down roughly below 6 cents. Now we want to try to take a look over here at the liquidity for this particular area as well and see what's happening. So right now we do have some liquidity here in this region. At this point in time, you can see this is the current price of Hex. Everything to the left is essentially a buy wall. These are people willing to buy the price should the price of Hex dip below this level or dip to this level. Everything to the right of the red line is a sell wall. This is again what you end up getting at this point in time. These are people who are looking to sell and actually make it happen in this regard too. So everything to the right side, when the price starts pumping up again, these are all people looking to sell. Roughly, they have about $2 million locked up here between all of these little bids and asks. And then you actually have the support down here saying, should the price dip a little bit lower, this is what we're looking at. Now, you can see based on what we're seeing, if price does end up dropping to the 5.8 cent region, we don't really have too much support, especially in between the 5.4 all the way to the 5.9 cent range. So if you are playing the game of wanting to set some limit orders, then it is a good idea to possibly set limit orders, especially in the 6.1 down to 5.9, possibly even all the way down to 5.4, all the way here, so you can kind of scoop up some additional Hex. I think Crypto Jenkins actually came out with a really good idea too, and it's actually showing this exact same thing. I know this may not be popular to say, price go down and everyone is back to doing Moonboy TA, but Hex may create a lower high in its current channel and run the risk of distributing to the downside. In this scenario, it's likely we'd see 4.7 cents down to 5.5 range for a retest, and you can see we were making higher highs and higher lows. We now just made a lower high at this point in time based on the metrics that you see, and if it falls out of this little trajectory and parallel channel that it's in right now, we could end up dropping down to what he's saying to the 5.5 cent range, possibly even down to 4.7. So I know I still have limit orders set from my previous times all the way down in this region too, and it's always good to have some limit orders just in case some whale or shark decides to come through and say I'm dumping on this. But the reason why this is all happening is because Richard Hart just recently came through. Hey, 1 sub away. I appreciate that, Alan Fizme. I guess you're going to keep me up to date should we end up getting that 1,000 subs as well. LOL at Facing Reality. I even twitched the stream. You will get 1,000 subs now. Hee hee. Hello, everyone. What's up, Chris Crypto? How are you doing? Shared stream on Telegram. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. One sub away. Facing reality says you get a pass this time. He's happy that he gets a pass. He was gonna get some little swift kick in the nuts, is what we were talking about before I got rugged on my previous stream. But it is what it is. DeFi Don, thank you so much for that. Nice little subscribe. Appreciate all the love as well. Much love to every single one of you beautiful people who are coming through with that subscribe. I welcome a healthy retest. Yeah, and this is a perfect example that we definitely have a retest being very, very possible, right? It's very likely that we end up getting it. At this point in time, we have kind of broke down from here. If you just look at where the trajectory ends up leading, and I can kind of draw another little flag here and just kind of see what ends up happening. So you can kind of see this is what we're looking at in these two little trends. We're going to probably bounce here if we do bounce, or we're going to break below and really go start testing that 5.5 to 4.7 cent region like Crypto Jenkins was saying. So I'm right there with them in that regard, and it's coming from this man Richard Hart, guys. He's been posting a lot. If you haven't seen it, he's come through and really just done a phenomenal job rebranding. I've talked about it yesterday. It's a new chapter in Richard Hart's book of life, and so he's gone and flipped the page to the next chapter at this point in time. It's all about his humble beginnings, where he came from, who he is as a person, and let's just get back to the basics of what he does and what he is. But he came through and actually put this little tweet out saying, Pulsechain.com news. Dev news from 13 hours ago. Aragon catching up from October 4th. Now on mainnet, panicked due to a peer being added to a time-cached blacklist, which means the peer had a bad data or was not responding. It was on stage 10 of 15 and moving along nicely. Now, if you actually open up this picture right here, you can see we are back to stage 7 right now. Now again, this isn't anything too crazy at this point in time, but it is something for everyone to know, because why? He broke down this little tweet here, and I'm going to kind of just zoom out just a smidge, but he broke down the little tweet here showing kind of what you can expect the levels to end up being at. So let me just kind of get to where that was. And should be coming up. I mean, look at all the tweets, man. This dude's been on an absolute tear, and I know I just flew past it. But basically, he broke down the timestamps of how everything ended up looking, and I can probably just end up pulling it up over here on a different page. So give me 1 second while I get that pulled up. Okay. And so this is actually the tweet that he ended up saying. So this is a breakdown of kind of how you expect the time to go, right? I appreciate the sub, JJ. Thank you so much. Yeah, that means we just passed 1,000 subs. Is that correct? Let's see if we can refresh this page. Bam. Let's go refresh, and let's just take a little peeky weeky on hitting 1K. Can we make it? Did we make it? 1,000. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Fuck yeah, people. I appreciate that so freaking much. Thank you. Thank you so much. A little celebration noise happening right there, guys. Absolute banger of a ability to get it. We fucking did it. 1,000 subs, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, dude. Fucking screenshot real fast. Screenshot. Got to do a little shout out on Twitter for you beautiful folks. Let me just screenshot this real quick, and bam, bam. Bam, bam. Let's fucking get it, folks. Bam. Cool. All right, got a little screenshot of that. Got to capture the moment live on stream. Thank you so much for allowing me to make this happen for y'all, with you, and just being a part of this community. It's been an absolute banger of an episode. It's been an absolute blast getting to this point and looking to continue to grow as well. But based on what we're talking about, Richard Hart had the little tweet. And on this tweet, he breaks down the different stages about how long it took to get each stage completed. So stage 6 was 12 minutes, stage 7, 30 hours, stage 8, 2 hours, stage 9, 1 hour, and stage 10, unknown. Why is it unknown? Because it wasn't able to complete. They failed on stage 10 and essentially had to go back and restart the sync from October. So I was explaining this to Crypto 7 as well, and I appreciate all the love and support for him and everything happening with his channel. Highly advise going and checking him out. He's giving out them watches that we don't talk about. But in this regard, the stage 10 was unable to complete. Now what that means is they basically have the snapshot ready to go for October already completed. So everything up until October, they just need to resync the data from October to now to make sure it completes. Now, it failed at stage 10, which is why we didn't get V3 testnet last week like we were all expecting. And instead, we're back to stage 7, which yesterday he tweeted takes 30 hours. So we should be wrapping up stage 7 here very shortly based on this information. And it just kind of lets us see all the information as well. So that way everyone can kind of get a little bit of a better idea happening with it. Let me see what he was talking about. But yeah, I mean, all this stuff is all happening very soon. Yeah, so right here, back to stage 10 of 15, moving along nicely. However, based on this, we were back on stage 7. Again, this tweet was sent out. When was this tweet? Sent out yesterday, March 6th at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm here 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we know it takes roughly about 30 hours to complete, so we should still be in stage 7 based on this, depending upon where it was at in stage 7 when it happened. But then based on that as well, we know it's going to happen pretty quickly. So never launching. Oh my God. Someone just had to come through and just say that. Love it, love it, love it. Made a whole profile picture and everything. Never launching. Oh my goodness. Appreciate all the love, all the support. Well deserved. Congrats, Gabriel. Thank you. HOA, thank you. Facing Reality, thank you. Agenda 69, thank you. Little Futures times 20, thank you. Total Shit Show and never launching. Quote me on that. Hey, why? You know, you can always remind me of this. Just do remind me of this in 1 year and we'll come back to you. Only time will tell. What's up, Academiciated? Afternoon, ATX and fam. The GOAT is back. Appreciate that, DeFi Don. Once again, great. Grats on 1K subs. Let's freaking go. ATXicans unite and all the ATX over 1K sub. All in on ATX. Let's go. Absolutely. Yep. Reset all the indicators. Boomsies. I welcome a healthy reset. Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for all the love, all the support, and all the channel happening. Much love and positivity with every single one of you beautiful people. But yeah, I mean, that based on all of this information, guys, you got to imagine that again, we're back to stage 7 now. So we actually went backwards, unfortunately, instead of forwards. And he has everything synced up to October 4th. Now, this is actually bullish news for us further in the future, because what it means is once everything is synchronized and everything is up to date on the synchronization, then that means March is going to be the current date, meaning that whenever Pulsechain is ready to go live, they just have to update the sync from March. Meaning that there's less work that needs to be done, there's more time that needs to be happening now, but there will be less work needing to be done in the future. So it is a positive note, but in the short-term interim, it is a negative note. And of course, based on all of that, the hex price is seeing the same information and seeing the same drop. Now, again, we can go back and just measure previous drops in Hex's existence from times when the price actually went a little bit negative. So there was a 31% drop there. You can measure this one down to a 22% drop. Measure this one from here. Whoop, what are you doing? Measure from here. Work. Oh, okay. Gotcha. From here, it was a 25% dip, as we see. From here, it was actually a 16%, but if you actually go all the way down, 19, and actually down a little bit further, 23, right? Because that's actually the furthest point that it went. So far, at this point in time, we've really dropped down about 19%. I'm anticipating that we do the same similar 25 to 20% dip somewhere in this ballpark, which brings us down to the 5.8 cent region. And again, we don't really have a lot of support here because we've just kind of been passing all these levels very quickly. And yeah, just meaning it's gonna happen. Yeah, but there says news from 13 hours ago. Love it, love it, love it. You guys can keep reporting me to IC3. How can I launch it if I'm in prison? Gotcha. You just seem like a fun guy to have, so let's just get you out of here, my friend. Bye-bye. 2 more weeks, Crypto Khalil. Appreciate that as well. Crypto Khalil. We got LOL at Gabriel from Alan Fizime, which means that even when V3 comes out, it will be a faster release because they will have only to go back 30 days or so. Yeah, literally when the synchronization comes out, when V3 launches and we get V3 testnet, imagine that is the point in time where we'll be launching and syncing from. Because at this point in time, they've already got everything up till October. They need to synchronize and make sure everything matches between October and March, as we are in March right now. And then once that happens, then we actually have only maybe until April to March to actually make it happen, meaning that he can run this in the background very easily, very quickly. And when it happens and he's like, dude, block number XYZ, we're launching, or, you know, Pulsechain is going to be launching on April 1st to, you know, April, or maybe not April 1st. I just wanted to say April Fools, but you know, maybe April 20th all the way up to March 10th or something like that. And then he just launches it somewhere in that ballpark. I think that's what we're going to be expecting, and that's what we're going to be getting. But yeah, at this point in time, we have seen some negative price action because of it. And that's to be expected, man. It really is to be expected, unfortunately, only because that news that Richard Hart just released, I didn't necessarily see it as bullish myself. If you actually look back at this, it doesn't come off as a bullish sentiment. It seems like there was a problem. Now, he breaks it down a little bit further and actually says the TLDR is basically saying that everything is all good to go. Nothing needed to be rewritten. No code needs to be rewritten. Everything is all good. So everything's going fine. No code needs to be fixed or written. We're just waiting for stuff to sync. When you start running your own validators, you'll get to run into some of the random sniggles once in a while too. Once you're up and running, it usually goes good for a long while. Oh, and by the way, when I say code needs to be fixed or written, that's a guess, right? Or no code needs to be fixed or written. We'll know after my guess was correct when V3 is launched, right? And so he's basically saying it right here. And there, you know, Jenkins, I'm a big fan of Crypto Jenkins, by the way. Would love if he comes back and possibly even hops on stream. He has some awesome information, and he hits up from his perspective and what he sees. He's not on the hopium train. He just thinks, you know, here's what I see, here's what's in front of me. And that's the way I like looking at things too, is as much as I want to drink all the hopium that I possibly can and inject all the hopium I possibly can, I share my information and I share what I possibly think could be a thing. And so unfortunately, because of the single threaded nature of most Aragon stages, the CPU cores don't matter much, but the stages that support multi-thread stage 6, it flies through them, right? So again, this is a very quick update, and this is him basically saying, like, it doesn't take much time, folks. Like you can see, we're probably talking within a couple of days. So assuming we get everything synced up until March and we actually have V3 testnet launch, then you can imagine it only takes a couple of days for them to decide that we want to sync everything up now and let's launch Pulsechain. So I see this as bullish news / I do find some bearish news in it, right? Because it does say that we were on stage 10, we were moving along nicely, and now I look at it and they're back to stage 7. So it's like, you know, kind of like going back and forth on that one, right? So that's my 2 cents on what's happening. That's why I think Pulsechain has been delayed once again. Thank you as always having that 1,000 subscribers, guys. Much love to it. I meant launch date will only have to sync back way less time. Sorry, I was sounding confusing there. No, I understand exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about, Clifton. So once we get everything synced up, Pulsechain can launch within a matter of days if they decide, because they already know how long it's going to take between each stage. In fact, we saw it just a moment ago. It takes roughly about 48 hours for everything to at least get synced up to stage 9. And then from there, they're going to know how long it takes to sync stage 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? And once everything is fully synced, they'll have a good idea and say, here's what we can do in the next 72 hours. We can predict and say that we can sync everything up, and it'll probably be a little bit faster if you ask me, because they have to sync less data, right? But that's a different topic. So between the next 48 and 72 hours, we can decide to launch, and that is freaking bullish. Yes, sir. J-Man, thank you so much on the 1,000 subscribes. Congrats. Exactly. Congrats on 1K. I got to drive through the blizzard to a hockey game. I'll catch the replay. Funkmaster X, be safe out there, my friend. Seriously, be safe. Driving through snow, blizzards, anything like that is crazy as all can be, but let's have fun. Smash the like and subscribe. Absolutely. Why, LOL, Alan? The timeout, Gabriel. I love seeing people timed out. I'm bullish on PulseX. I can already see that scale going up and more up. Not financial advice. Yep. I definitely see the ability to actually happen for sure, for sure, for sure. Hello, hexicans. What's up, Hex647? What is going on, my friend? Wow, you know you're big when you get multiple fake Richards attacking your channel. Imagine being that big of a loser with that much time on your hands and hate in your heart. Pathetic. Funkmaster Hex, facts, dude. Like, straight up, absolutely just freaking sad. Like, if you were that spiteful of a person that you have to come and hop on other people's streams so you can spout your bullshit and nonsense, then like you've got other issues to figure out. You got some mental health concerns that I would be worried about. I highly recommend going and checking out a therapist, talking to them about some mental health stuff, because guys, anyone who's going through some mental health issues, like shit, dude, that's some real stuff, and I get it. Going and checking out a therapist, not fun for anyone. Okay, I was just coming through. Yeah, thank you so much for getting that person blocked. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and just block completely, hide user on this channel. Bye bye. No longer needs to see such a fake freaking dude right there coming through. And imagine like you spent the time to like make all these chats, you spent the time to make the profile, you spent the time setting everything up. Now granted, it only may take a few minutes, but like you're still having to spend your time trying to hop on someone else's stream. That's just sad, dude. Sad. That's just terrible, man. But in all reality, guys, they can all go F off. They got other things I'm sure they're going to be worried about or sad about. But yeah, at this point, we got Pulsechain doing Pulsechain things, Hex doing Hex things. And folks, we are on an absolute move right now. Again, even from the point in time that we are currently at right now, I mean, I don't want y'all to get too crazy on this bearish momentum here, because you got to imagine that from the time in January when we were bearish, in my opinion, we're still up 263%. So if you were purchasing Hex anywhere between this zone, you're still up that money. You know what I mean? So be happy. Don't let these like moments in time despair you or try to discourage you or try to, you know, get you out or fudge you out or try to get you to sell Hex and make your own poor decision. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but you got to understand, folks, like this is what people are hoping for. They want people to freak out. They want people to sell. And so far, there's still technically more buyers than sellers. Every single day, we've almost had a 2-to-1 ratio for buyers and sellers. And you can see it right here where my mouse currently is. You can actually see there's 261 buyers currently today and 191 sellers. So the sellers have got some more dry powder, the ability to sell. I get that. They definitely have some. And if you even look at the other pair as well, just a moment ago for Hex versus Ethereum and see what's happening with that one. Once again, the buyers are almost matching 2-to-1. They have 384 buyers versus 215 sellers. So again, guys, all the pairs, you still have more buyers than sellers. So like, even though this is that negative news that may be negative to you, like people are waiting for the chance to scoop up the Hex for this price. Imagine whales who are waiting to actually buy into some of these prices. Maybe they want to wait until the 4.75 cent range to actually come back in, and they thought it may have escaped them, but once again, it's going to come back. So if you actually see the level that I would see as a level of support / resistance is going to be the 5.5, because that is currently where we've probably had the most resistance kind of going up, and we had a little bit of support on the way down, bouncing it off. So yeah, 5.5 I can definitely see being a real thing to be paying attention to. Now again, based on all other metrics, I don't know if we're going to get to 5.5. We normally drop 20 to 25% based on all these other dips that have happened and previous mentions of Pulsechain, whether it's negative or positive. Mostly negative is what I'm referring to. But again, we get these dips. I would see 5.9, 5.8, somewhere in that range. And if it drops down lower, I would definitely see 5.5 in play. And guys, from there, yeah, do go ahead and set some limit orders, because based on all this, it's what you're seeing right here. You have a lot of information and a lot of people still willing to buy here in this range. And then after the 5.8, 5.9 cent region, we don't really have a lot of support up until about 5.4. So right here, there's what, 9,000 Hex, 6,000. Oh, this is USDC. Yeah, 6,000. So all in all right here, this is roughly what? $100,000 worth. It's like, it's not much. People are still constantly buying, people are still constantly selling. And this is the same thing for the hex WETH pair as well. And you can kind of see we have a lot of sells over here. People are looking to make sure they cash out, take some profits here in this region, and it's actually swapping their hex for Ethereum in this regard. But again, same thing happening here. People are swapping their Ethereum for hex all through here. So keep in mind, definitely being a real thing. Oh goodness, you're so frustrating. Yeah, Clifton, I appreciate you handling that real fast. Let me just, how do I get this dude to shut the F up? Because that is just frustrating for me, frustrating for everyone. Report, spam. Yeah, let's just see there. Hide user on my channel, cool. And I'm sure they're just going to come back, make a new thing again. Once again, show them your dick doc. And he usually shuts up. Oh, shit. My goodness. That's just someone who's just an angry person and hates life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. They literally just keep on making new ones. I can't do anything against it. Can't do anything about it. So we'll see if I can get them done there. Appreciate Clifton taking care of all of the messages happening as well. And hopefully it, he just keeps on making a new account and just keeps on coming back. So it's just what it is. It is what it is, right? It's just sad to see. I guess we will live rent-free in his head. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to let Clifton do his thing, guys. I appreciate Clifton taking care of the chat. Don't mind the fake Richard Hart being fucking /savage or bullshit or garbage. For whatever reason, it will not allow me to permaban, and maybe I can just type in the name Richard Hart, because again, we'll figure that out when the time comes, because he just is literally spamming. But let's talk about what we actually have going on, guys. There's been a lot of good news happening in terms of some massive content creators who have come in and come on board and basically said like, hey, I am interested in all this. Let me make sure. Cool. So I want to actually hear this with y'all as well. So bam, and let's make sure we're connected once again. Bam, connected. All right. So check this out real quick, because HVid Hex actually posted this little clip of, once again, Ivan on Tech talking about Richard Hart, Pulsechain, Hex, and all the good stuff. So this is actually a clip that he actually had and she made on here. So let's just take a little gander and listen. Make sure the volume's up. I can see that it's not showing up here, so 1 second. RH went soft. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh my goodness. Alaphisme, you're just absolutely hilarious, my friend. Absolutely hilarious. All right, and go back here. Open that up. Go in here. Open this up. Turn the sound to... All right. Now let's take a little gander here and see if we actually get sound this time. Why do you keep going off it? Stop it. Stop it. All right, cool.
This is going to be important. Why? Number one, I have sacrificed. So that's why, to me, this is a personal news update that I'm keeping an eye on. Let me know if you've sacrificed for Pulsechain. But number two, like the community is crazy. The reason why I am updating on Pulsechain, and why personally I'm excited, is not necessarily because of the tech, because tech-wise, it's gonna be like fast ETH, which we have many of. Like we have Arbitrum, we have Optimism, we have this and that. Like it's a million of them. But the community is on the other level.
I can't show the chat while streaming. That's
crazy. It's crazy. So when you look at the different blockchains, whether it's Ethereum, Optimism, Binance Chain, what is the difference? There's no difference. It's EVM, smart contracts. It's exactly like everything else. The only thing that is different is the community. That's where you actually can have
community is
an
freaking
advantage.
solid,
And
guys.
whenever you look at
Fucking
a blockchain like
solid.
Polygon, let's say, people are not really loyal to Polygon. Like no one really cares about Polygon in the same way that people on Pulse care about Pulse. And what I mean by that is that, let's say you're an application on Polygon. I mean, you could move to Arbitrum. It's a few lines of code, redeploy all contracts, bridge the assets. It's very easy to do, actually. So in the space of EVMs, where everything is so easy, everyone can just switch. There's no loyalty because, I mean, why would you have loyalty? It's the same tech. Everything is the same. You need to have something like a community where you only get the crazy community on Pulse. You only get the crazy hex holders on Pulse. That's something that is unique from a fundamental perspective, not even tech perspective. From a fundamental perspective, that's very unique. So we're gonna see how it will.
You know, it's funny he says pumpamental, and I'm almost positive Richard Hart actually coined the term pumpamental. So now it's just kind of becoming a mainstream thing where you got folks like BitBoy, Ivan on Tech, all of them saying pumpamental. So huge on that.
Will play out. But that's why personally I'm very excited. But basically, the good thing that Richard is doing now is that he's updating on what's happening. And he's really sharing all the struggles, all the problems. And right now they're syncing the node, which is very difficult, by the way. I know it firsthand because we do it at Moralis all the time. Like syncing nodes, keeping them in sync. Man, it's insane. It's insane. And the worst thing is that you cannot make it go faster in many cases. Because the way nodes are made is that it needs to go it's very sequential because the blockchain is sequential. So for you to validate everything, you need to go step by step by step by step by step. So it doesn't matter if you can have like 5 billion machines doing it. You can only do it one step at a time. So that is really not great when you need to sync without a milestone. So milestone is when you don't have to sync, you just download a state of the blockchain and you just continue from that block. But if you have to sync from scratch and validate everything, then there is no way to speed it up. That's horrible. And that's especially with Geth. Aragon, I'm not sure. Maybe Aragon is a bit faster. Maybe they've made it a bit smarter. I don't have experience as much with Aragon. But with Geth, for example, it's crazy.
I like that he's willing to admit that.
It seems that they're just waiting for the sync, and the code is ready. And it's going to be very interesting to see how how this ecosystem will evolve, because
boy, that guy got so giddy on that one. Did you hear that?
Ecosystem will evolve, because I want to also see how Richard will treat the projects on Pulsechain, because he wants Hex to pump, and the people will be launching all kinds of coins on Pulse. I can tell you that it's gonna be a lot of projects, and it's gonna take buy pressure from Hex. So the question is, will it be cannibalizing Hex? But what is the point of making a programmable blockchain if you don't want people to launch projects and to launch coins? So that's my biggest question. Let's see how it evolves. I will be updating you, and yeah, I hope my Pulse bag, which I sacrificed, will do well in the coming bull market. At least with...
Perfect. Yeah. So, guys, let's just let's just talk about this. Ivan on Tech has literally mentioned Hex Pulsechain almost every single day on his streams. It's been mentioned in our community, amongst them as well, people who watch his channel and watch his content. They've been talking about the same information, guys. We got folks talking about Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX constantly that are bigger content creators. Now, once you actually start breaking into like news and stuff like that, and you actually have celebrities talking about it, then we're into a little bit of a different range. But at this point in time, having Ivan on Tech talk about it with over 500,000 subscribers, having BitBoy, as much as I hate to say it, he's being this like, I just want to be cautious and I don't want anyone to do anything. Like that kind of like irks me a lot. Just fucking say you either like it or don't like it, but just to be on the fence, get off the fence, man. Fall one way or the other. Be a broken egg, you know what I mean? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and fucking BitBoy just fell down and didn't make a decision. That's basically what happened. So as much as I would love to hear some more information from the bigger content creators, I love the fact that they are taking a stance one way or another. Just the fact that they're mentioning Hex at this point in time is massive. You got to understand, massive, right? Yeah, and so academiciated over here. Yep, ignore them. Yeah, exactly. Gabriel, thank you so much for taking care of all that. Did RH go soft on us? Yeah, RH definitely went soft. And it's for the good thing, right? Because again, guys, you got to understand, For folks who weren't in the ecosystem before the 2022 outrage marketing chapter of Richard Hart's life, he was about self-improvement. He was helping people. He was trying to save people in the world of crypto. So his first chapter, if you actually look at it, it's the self-help books, t.me/sci-vibe. It's all the videos that he put out, basically talking about how to create a better world, better democracy, how voting should be, all these different topics of just a better world, right? And then he got into crypto and Hex, and he started saying like, here's how you can save yourself from crypto, folks. I created a crypto that has saved people's lives. Luna, Celsius, 3 Hours Capital, BlockFi, Voyager, all those centralized exchanges are all going to just take your money. That's not real crypto. Here's what real crypto is. And he's done that. He went through that second chapter of his life. The third chapter was this outrage marketing, right? The one where he's been like, basically, you got to be giving him props because he went from 100,000 followers to 300,000 followers in a span of like a year while he was doing outrage marketing. People love that stuff, man. People eat it up. As much as those folks who were already in the community and saw Richard Hart previously and it's like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? All the people who can look past that and just listen to the words and hear the truths, man, that's a true IQ test there, right? And then you get into this last stage that we're currently in right now, the new chapter of his book of life. He's flipped the page. He's gone with the humble beginnings. He's gone with the humble attitude. Like, I am just a man just like you. You know what I mean? I come from a place. I grew up, not in the best conditions. I had all these life things happen. And I am here today because of the choices that I made. And I want to save every single one of y'all. And I want y'all to come along this journey with me. And I want to bring you along. And I want you to become rich. And I want you to retire, right? All these things. This is what it's all about right now. And Richard Hart is definitely in this phase, which a lot of folks have been just an absolute big fan of. You know what I mean? We'll take the Hex dip for the buy. Yep, for sure. Shall we forgive him, ATX Crypto? The fake Richard? No, fuck that guy. The real Richard? Yeah, I mean, anyone who basically has been pissed off at Richard and like, I'm selling my position because Richard tweeted something about his pee-pee. Like, get out your own ego, man. Like, we're in this game for freaking, we're in this for the gains, but at the same time, this community is just absolutely incredible. So just the fact that you're willing to just get rid of your stack of cash because the code is so good, but one person says something that upset you, like, get out your feelings, man. Like, that's all I got to say on that one. Get out your feelings. What's up, 10 Top? What's up, hexicans? I say no. Yep. Nope. I like Ivan. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I used to live. So the way I got into this whole ecosystem was by Dr. Giggles in the ecosystem known as Dr. Giggles. So he was the one who's like, hey, man, you got to check out a couple of streamers. We were doing all sorts of trades together. We were doing swing trades. We were doing all sorts of stuff long before I found out about Hex. And we've known each other for a long time. And so he's like, dude, you got to check out 3 people in the world of crypto. One of them was Richard Hart. One of them was Ivan on Tech. And I don't remember the third one. I can go back and look. But I don't even remember it being beneficial enough for me to like, oh my God, this guy's great. Whenever I heard Richard Hart talk, I was like, man, all I do is like forget his ego, man. Put his ego aside. Didn't really care about that. All I heard when he spoke was truth. It was truth. And every single time that he said something, it just came off from a truth perspective for me and the way I understood it. And so whenever I see other people who's like, I just don't get Hex. And like they're what I would consider probably at least a little bit smarter than me because I definitely am not the sharpest pencil in the box. But at the same time, they cannot wrap their heads around Hex. Like, you got folks like Simon, you got folks like Simon Dixon, you got folks like just so many other folks that are just like trying to engage the community. And just by the mention of Hex, our community lights up the space. You know what I mean? It brings so much engagement, whether positive or negative or whatever. Just the mere mention of Hex lights up their page. And so, yeah, they're all just kind of like crying and all that good stuff. We have the best community and crypto. Facts on facts. Maybe next week. Yeah, so assuming we get a good synchronization for testnet or a good sync up to, stage 15, we launch testnet v3. Then from there, what's really cool about it is we are synced up to that point, folks. I got to let y'all understand that. Once we have the synchronization completed and V3 launches, that means the next time the next time we need to synchronize to launch mainnet, it's only going to have to go back from the most recent synchronization, which would probably be most likely in March if we launch V3 testnet. So that means there may only be a couple of weeks of sync that needs to happen before we just launch Pulsechain. So get ready, because guys, when this happens, Pulsechain, when V3 comes around, I can see Pulsechain being ready to deploy at a moment's notice with just a quick little synchronization update within the span of 48 to 72 hours when he decides. You got to understand that, right? You got, like, we have the ability to actually check it out for sure. Pulsechain has to launch already, have the deposit down on the yacht. Oh shit, too funny. Yo, what's up, hexicans? ATX, I'll catch the replay. I appreciate that, hexicans. Gensler even stole an RH quote. He sure did. Yeah, not your keys, not your coins. You know, good old Gary Gensler of the SEC, rugged. Yep. Okay, I'm back. What's up, Alan Fitzman? I think the government is messing with our internet. Yeah, I think so too, right? I definitely had something happen. I streamed just a moment ago. If you didn't miss it, or for those of y'all who weren't here, I streamed earlier with the exact same thing, and I'm on the exact same internet. I haven't done anything, and literally the internet was just like, and then just fucking stopped. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna walk away for a second and just restart it up again. And sure as shit, it works. It's been working flawlessly, perfectly during this entire time, going on 40 minutes now. I like Ivan, but I can barely understand him on 1.5 times. Reminds me of Mumbles, the Ed Bassmaster character of Only Russian. Yeah, and I'm a fan of watching stuff on like the 1.5 to 1.75 speed. Jake Sharp was like one of the few folks that when our community happened that I wasn't able to, when he first started coming on board and I had to like get used to his accent, that I wasn't able to watch him on like the 2x speed that I was so used to watching on. And I was like, bro, I think I got to slow you down a little bit just so I can hear you enunciate the words a little bit better. So just hearing it on normal speed was hilarious. BitBoy gets tipped by the weight of the scam bags. Facts on facts. 1000 ATX. All my congratulations. Thank you so much, Spacey007. Yes, sir. Hit 1000 subscribers live on stream today. Thank you so much to all you beautiful folks who allowed me to make this happen. And you can only imagine that the more we keep this going, the more you may see some fake imposters. So keep in mind, guys, I won't be the one to message you. I might as well just start saying that now. I won't be the one to message you being like, come give me your money. I will double your hex if you send me some money. Like, be ready, guys. Be ready for the imposters, man. Spammers are out there for sure, for sure. Pulsechain update from RH. Check. Did he really update? Let's see. Let's see what we got. Richard Hart, Pulsechain update. All right, let's check it out. We'll check it out live on stream. This is coming live from Clifton's update, or Gabriel's update on this as well. So we look at here. We got Pulsechain.com update. Aragon is what I'm assuming he says, released a bug fix. Yay. Pulse Aragon is still syncing using the latest version with fix, so it won't run into that bug. Execution stage is on December 19th, so only 79 days, 17 hours of blocks to execute before stage 8. So I'm actually more surprised. I appreciate the update. That is going to be some bullish news for sure. But I mean, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about just a little bit earlier with how long it takes for each of the stages. So the fact that it's now back on stage 7 again, this doesn't really give me one. Block execution. This looks a little bit different than what I'm used. Oh, there it goes. 7 out of 15 execution. Okay, cool. So yeah, they're back on stage 7. I'm surprised that we're kind of hanging out in this range, but it's what I thought would happen. I thought, you know, based because it takes 30 hours to execute stage 7 from the last time he mentioned it, then we're probably still within the stage 7, you know, executing phase right now. So I wonder if just started stage 7 again with the updated bug fix. But either way, guys, this is some freaking bullish news. Yeah. And oh, look at that. I got the timestamps. I can probably go back and look at timestamps, but yeah, write to database. It looks like they just started rewriting stage 7 once again, if you ask me, which just means that we have probably until, you know, I would say tomorrow. Well, in this case, I would say, what's today? Tuesday? So Thursday, we'll get past stage 7, and then stage 8, stage 9, they didn't take long to complete, folks. They were pretty fast in terms of how long it said for them to synchronize up. Bullish, if you ask me. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Yep, this is a phenomenal little thing right here. I mean, guys, this is pretty incredible moment in time, and I'm glad that we're getting to see all this live, because you got to understand, like, we're gonna look back at this. And it's just going to be like a blink of an eye type deal that, yeah, you had to wait 2 years. But like for all the folks who waited 2 years for Hex to launch and Hex finally launched, they're not crying about it. I promise. You know what I mean? They're just like, it's here. I made a whole bunch of money. It's awesome. There's a chance that upstream fixes might exist for the Prism Lighthouse peering they're inspecting. You might be wondering how many things get fixed in an open source software release. In this one, a lot. This last major one yesterday has 641 changes listed. And why are the markets down today? Guess there's a theory that you can't kill inflation with the Fed rates, with the Fed interest rate going higher. Yeah, so talking back on that 21 minutes ago. Oh, nice. Book online. What is this book? You had to remain... Interesting. You had the right to remain innocent. LOL, this is a twist. 6th, not 5th. I plead the 6th. Interesting. Me, the first vid is way better. Way better. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, he's tweeting like crazy, man. I mean, the fact that he's back in this little Twitter mode where he's just going to, like, tweet every single couple of seconds, you gotta imagine, like, the dude knows what he's talking about. Yeah, exactly. New RH tweet, Captain Venture says. Hex Squid, new RH tweet, Hex will pump now. 79 days of sync is what he says. Imagine syncs relatively fast. Well, if you think about it, it's synced up till October 4th, right? So let's go back and just kind of take a little breakdown of this message right here, okay? So if you go back and just see from, whoops, not that one. I didn't mean to open that. So if you just go back and let's just see what Richard Hart's talking about on all of these things, okay? So this is the most recent tweet talking about December 18th. That was 9 minutes ago. And if you go back to when the actual update was previously that he said yesterday, my God, look how many tweets this dude does. He tweets more than anyone I know. So many tweets. Oh my gosh. I think Hexalina Post a lot has even more tweets for sure. Richard Hart, still. Okay, cool. Wow. All the way from here. Cool. So this is the main tweet that he started saying, where it basically was up to date since October. Now, October 4th. So that would have been, what is that? October 4th to December 18th is what he was saying. So within essentially a full day's time, 2 months have gone by. And that's kind of an easy breakdown. Yeah, God, look how many freaking tweets this dude does, man. There's so many tweets. Up to December 18th. Yeah, so essentially 2 months went by in the span of less than 24 hours. You can just kind of do the same math in the span for 2 more months to go by, which would put it in February, and then another month to go by. So 3 more months, you're looking roughly about 48 hours for stage 7 to complete before they can move on to stage 8. We already know they had a bug in stage 9. And Tupac had a soft side also, but he could also kill someone with words. Facts, Anthony. 3 hours later, ATX looking through RH tweets. Bro, like, it's so many. It's so many. RH just tweeted bug fix. Exactly. Yeah, have a deposit on a new wife. Russian might be coming for me if Pulse doesn't launch. Woo! Facts on facts on facts. Yeah, congrats to the Hex family for being the base for all of these projects to launch. Pulse update by Richard Hart just now. Appreciate that as devs fixed the bug already and the Aragon devs accepted the fix syncing. About 1/3 is left to go for stage 7 is how I understand it. Clifton, you are absolutely reading it correctly. That's kind of what I'm talking about. What up, ATX? Late to the stream. What did I miss? Well, so far we've talked about how Pulsechain is in fact delayed. We already know that. And we talked about how the current price of Hex is going down because of it. Hey, look at that. Just that one little pump. How much has it gone up? This is one little tweet alone. Measure from here to there. This has gone up 4%. Hey, we're back at it, boys. Okay, so for real though, so what I was talking about before was I was saying how all the other times that there was any negative news that happened with Pulsechain, you can see we roughly dropped about 20 to 25% based on the previous local high. So if you end up doing that same math from where we currently were down 25%, it puts us here in this range of about 5.8 cents. I don't really know for sure if the most recent tweet is that bullish news that we were expecting, but I mean, any news from Pulsechain is any news from Pulsechain, right? Crypto Jenkins broke down kind of the same thing, saying that we could be seeing a lower low if we end up getting there, because we saw a lower high. So it just basically means that, again, TA isn't necessarily popular, but we were making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and then we had a lower high here. So if we break this trend line, we may be seeing the price hit between 5.5 to 4.7. So easy way to do it is I just look at the liquidity, see where everything's at. If you have some liquidity here, it is a good region to put some liquidity, probably in the 6.1, 5.9, all the way down to 5.4 range region. If you want to put some down here, just know that it's going to be harder for your order to get filled, only because there's a little bit more buy wall support right here. So these are people who are saying, give me that hex when the price drops this low. And I definitely, having price below here, I don't really see a drop below 5 cents, but I mean, dude, anything can happen. A shark can come in right now and just basically say, kaboom, I'm out this ecosystem. And when that happens, they gone. As soon as validators sync up, we're live. Yeah, and so another thing that I was saying as well to all the folks who are brand new, thank you so much to all the subscribers. I just hit 1,000 subs live on stream, so thank you so much. We're looking to continue pushing onwards and upwards, so keep on clicking that sub button. Make sure we end up loving this information if you love this information. And of course, something that I would say as well is for once the validators sync up, you have to understand this comes with a great little idea of very easy to understand. We have a sync set up right now that when we end up reaching a certain number, so right now it's synced up to October 4th, okay? When it reaches the point in time where it's fully synchronized, all 15 stages complete, that will be our most recent synchronization point. So imagine how long it's taken right now to sync from October to December 18th. It's taken roughly about 24 hours already at this point in time. Well, let's just do that same math and say that, it's synchronized up to March and that we launch in April. It may only take 24 to 48 hours to synchronize up. So it will be a lot faster for us right now. So this is kind of that growing pain that we're going through to make sure that when it's ready, it can launch that much faster, folks. Like, you gotta understand, this is so freaking quick to be able to end up getting there. Thank you so much, Crypto Mike, for the 1,000 subs. Congrats. Appreciate all the love and support to every single one of you beautiful folks. I got more little shorts coming as well. I'm looking at making a little bit more short form content so people can gather a little bit more information that way and have some fun gaining some information and learning how you can from that. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everyone who is coming around, who is subscribing to the channel. Much love to every single one of you beautiful people. Right now, I will be hopping off stream, but I will catch you on tomorrow's stream. Have a wonderful day, folks. Peace.